Shalom everybody, my name is Rabbi Dr. Yitzhak Shapira and I'm the author of the new book, The Jewish DNA of Romans 11 and the Fullness of the Gentiles. You see, when Igeret is written, or in English epistle, we have to understand the Jewish meaning behind an epistle or an Igeret. For example, Maimonides write the Igeret to the Jews in Taiman or in Yemen to warn them against a false Messiah. When an Igeret is being written, brothers and sisters, a Igeret serves a purpose. And although it's tempting and it is so easy to take one verse or one chapter out of context, when we look at Romans 11 in my new book, we have to put it in context. So in the very first chapter of the book, I am going to talk about the context of Romans 11. So you probably ask yourself the question, what is the context of Romans 11 and what makes Romans, believe it or not, such a Jewish book? In chapter 5, Shaul make this point. Listen to this, not into 11, but chapter 5, because all of those chapters are going to lead us to the climatic of chapter 11 and so forth. He said, Lachen, therefore, אחרי נצדקנו באמונה שלום לנו עם האלוהים באדוננו ישוע המשיח. אשר בידו מצאנו באמונה מבוא אל החסד הזה אשר אנחנו עומדים בו ונתעלל בתקוות כבוד האלוהים. We have been נצדקנו. We have been justified through emunah. There are two things that Shaul is very concerned about writing the Igeret of Romans. And those are very important Jewish concepts that we're going to look about. How does one get justified? The entire theme of the book of El Aromaim has to do with the question, how does one get justification, which in Hebrew is the word Hitzdatkut. How does one gain zechut or merit into entering into Malchut Shamayim? So we are looking through this connection between, I want you to make a triangle, Torah in one side, in the another side is the chesed or the grace, and the third side emunah. What is the connection between the Torah, between our emunah, and between this entire justification of chesed? We are going to look at this as the principle, the founding principle of Romans 11. So when we read Romans 11 and Shaul speak about Hitzdatkut, he's speaking about the Hitzdatkut specifically, friend, as relationship for Israel and the Torah. And more importantly, he called it the sod. How the Hitzdatkut of Israel, the justification of Israel, can be related to the Hitzdatkut of the Gentile. He called it the sod, the secret. You see, Shaul is going above the pshat, above the remes, above the midrash. He's going to the level of the sod, and he said there is a great sod in that. How Hitzdatkut of a foreign tree can affect the Hitzdatkut of the entire house of Israel. And although he uses the term Israel, it is clear that when he speaks Israel, some people say, well, he's not talking about Jews. Of course he's talking about the Jews. Who do you think he's talking about? He's talking about Jewish people specifically, and those who are going to assist the salvation of all of Israel. So let us understand what this is about. Shaul is giving us a principles and recipe for Hitzdatkut for all of Israel. Let's decode it together. Go and order this, and let's make sure we understand Shaul in the proper Jewish context.